differential equation, whether linear, non-linear, it's okay, but they are all of first order differential equation. Now you have to go for second and higher order, and that too, of course, linear only you have to. So already, if I'm not wrong, you would have done this differential equations. Maybe you don't know the theory behind this, but in physics you would have done these things, RLC circuits and all. Did you? RLC circuits, spring mass, dash point systems and all. Have you done those things in physics? Am I audible? Please
Yes,
let
ma'am.
me. Yeah, then give the
Yes,
answer.
ma'am.
You have done those RLC circuits and all, or not? It consider it
Yes, ma'am.
consider
Yes,
a,
ma'am.
a register will be there,
Yes, ma'am.
inductor there, capacitor is there, and uh, the differential equation for the current in the circuit at any time is given by certain differential equation. Okay, where you have all these variables. That is a second order differential equation. Have you done those things in physics?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. So you would have solved also, na? Anyhow, let us discuss the main point, how nth order differential equation look, and that too we are talking about the linear differential equation only. Okay, so an equation of the form dny by dxn plus p1 of x dn minus 1 y by dxn minus 1 plus p2 of x dn minus 2 y by dxn minus 2 and so on, plus pny is equal to q of x. So as you can see, this is a linear differential equation of which order? Of which order?
N.
This is of order n. Why linear? Why linear? Because the power of each of these derivatives is 1, and the derivatives of this dependent variable are not multiplied with the dependent variable itself. So this is a linear differential equation of nth order, where this p1, p2, pn and q of x, they are pn I have written, it is also a function of x only. So where this p1, p2, pn including q of x, they are all what? Continuous functions of x. And here p1, p2, pn can be functions of x, as well as they can be constant also. Okay, understood? Here all p and on RHS you have q, they are all continuous and real valued functions of x. So such a equation is called as a linear differential equation of nth order, of order n. Okay, now assume that, let us suppose that all these p values p1, p2, pn are constants. Okay, then the differential equation will be called as linear differential equation with constant coefficient. As I told you, this p1, p2, pn can be functions of x, or it can be constant also. Suppose they are all constant, that means instead of writing p1 of x, p2 of x, I'll write dny by, I'll write dny by dxn plus p1 dn minus 1 y by dxn minus 1 plus p2 dn minus 2 y by dxn minus 2 and so on up to pn y is equal to q of x. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether q of x is a constant term or a function of x. If all the p values in the left hand side are constant, then the differential equation is called as linear differential equation with constant coefficients. Understood, all of you? Not at least one, but all should be constant. Even if one of them is a variable, is a function in x, then you cannot say it is a linear differential equation with constant coefficients. Understood all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
Q can be function of x, it is a continuous function of x, or it can be constant, doesn't matter. But if all P1, P2, Pn are constants in this differential equation, then it is called as linear differential equation with constant coefficients. Suppose if at least one of the p's is a function of x, then it would be called as linear differential equation with variable coefficients. Got it, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we have to solve this kind of problems where I mean you have linear differential equation with constant coefficient. This kind of problems we have to solve. Okay, so to solve this one, you should know about this theorem. Of course, we are not going to prove this theorem, just the statement. Suppose you if y1 and y2 are two solutions of 1, let this be 1, again I'm not writing this one. Okay, a linear differential equation with constant coefficients I have taken. Suppose y1 and y2 are two solutions, then y is equal to c1y1 plus c2y2 is also its solution, where C1 and C2 are constants. Okay. Now I have taken only y1, y2 to be the solution, and I am saying that the linear combination of this one, where which is y is equal to C1 y1 plus C2 y2 is also a solution of 1. Okay. Then is also a solution of 1. But tell me, in general solution, how many constants should be there of nth order?
N.
N solutions should n arbitrary constants must be there. So the general solution of a differential equation of nth order contains n arbitrary constants. Okay, so if I say y1, y2, yn are n independent solutions of 1, then the linear combination C1y1 plus C2y2 and so on up to plus Cnyn is the most general solution of 1. Okay, let this solution we will denote it with, u. Okay, let this solution will denote it with u. Now suppose, so what kind of solution is this one? It is a general solution I am saying. General solution means a solution which contains how many arbitrary constants as the order of the differential equation. Since we have considered nth order differential equation, you will have n constant. Now you will have a particular solution also, na? Will you have a particular solution or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
what will be
Yes,
the
ma'am.
particular solution when you are able to find the C1, C2, Cn values, and you will use this general solution itself? That will be your particular solution. So if I say y is equal to v is any particular solution of 1, okay, of 1, what is happening here? Particular solution, something is gone. Okay, suppose y is equal to v is any particular solution, then y is equal to uv plus v. Okay, y is equal to uv plus v, u plus v, not uv plus v. Y is equal to u plus v is the most general. Something happened to this board. Just a second. Then y is equal to u plus v is the most general solution of 1. Okay, so now For the solution of a linear differential equation with constant coefficients of nth order will have two parts, u and v. Okay, so here u is called as the complementary function and part v is called as the particular integral of 1. Understood? Okay, so the complete solution of the given equation will be given by y is equal to CF plus PI, you can say. Okay, where CF means complementary function, which you will denote with YC, and the particular solution you will denote it with YP. You will denote it with YP. Understood, all of you? The solution, this is the complete solution of the given differential equation of nth order, which is linear with constant coefficient. A solution of nth differential equation with constant coefficient, of course linear, no need to mention, you are dealing with all linear only. Linear differential equation with constant coefficients of nth order. The solution is given by y is equal to yc plus yp, where yc is the called as complementary function. This is called as, okay, let me write, this is called as complementary function. What happened to my board? Complement complementary function. And yp is called as the particular integral. Got it, all of you? So we need to find complementary function and particular integral based on the given question. But before that, let's see about the operator d, because the question will be in terms of d itself. Even if not, you can rewrite them, okay, in the standard form. So the operator d. Okay, so we will denote here, we will denote d by dx as d. We will denote d by dx as d. Okay, so similarly, d square by dx square will be equal to, this is d only, okay, x square will be equal to capital D square. These are the notations we are going to use. These are all operators. Okay, so this operator d is a differential operator, d by dx. D square is also operator, d square by dx square. So if I want to apply d on y, what does I want to do? I want to differentiate y with respect to x. Understood, all of you?
Yes,
Please
ma'am.
do answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. No.
Similarly, if I write d square y, what does this mean? This means that I am differentiating y with respect to x 2 times. That is what it means. And so on. Okay, so now if I want to write my equation 1, which was the linear differential equation with constant coefficient, in symbolic form, it will be something like this. Okay, dn plus p1 dn minus 1 plus p2 dn minus 2, and so on, up to pn. This I have applied on y is equal to q of x. Understood all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in operator form, the differential equation 1, it was dny by dxn plus p1 dn minus 1y by dxn minus 1 and so on up to plus pny is equal to q of x. So in symbolic form, you can write something like this: dn plus, I mean d to the power n plus d1 d to the power n minus 1 and so on up to plus pn. Whole thing you are applying it on y is equal to q of x. Okay. Now this again I can write it as f of d y is equal to q of x. F of dy is equal to q of x I can write. Can I write it? Where, what is f of d? Tell me. What is f of d? It is, yeah, compare and tell me what is f of d.
dn plus p1
Power n,
d.
D power n plus,
p1,
yeah, p1. అరే ఎక్కడో రాస్తే ఎక్కడ పోతుంది? Just a second. It's not working. Something happened. Okay. So P1 d power n minus 1 plus P2 d power n minus 2 and so on up to Pn. Got it? That is your f of d. And you see it, this is a polynomial in E. Okay, in D. This is a polynomial in D. And this symbol D stands for the operation of differentiation. Okay, what does D stands for? It stands for operation of differentiation. And this operator D, or more generally the above f of d, follows all usual rules in algebra. That means the linearity property and all those properties, commutative property, associative laws, all those laws will be followed by this D. Understood all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now here the question arises on RHS. If this is your differential equation, this is a linear differential equation with constant coefficient. So that RHS q of x, you have two things there. One, it can be 0 and other, it can be some function of x. When I say some function of x, it can be constant also. Constant, even if I write, that can be assumed as 2 into x to the power 0. Can you assume it or not?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So two options. RHS can be 0 or RHS can be some function of x. How to solve in that case? So first we will assume RHS to be 0. Okay. And we will find the general solution when RHS is 0. And one more thing, if RHS is 0, it will be homogeneous linear differential equation with constant coefficient. And if you have any function on the other side, that is RHS q of x value, then it will be non-homogeneous differential equation. Of course, with this condition, it is linear with constant coefficient. Hope all of you are able to follow me what I'm saying. Understood? No answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So now you have to find, you have to find you have to find the general, just a second here, I'm not able to write on this board. General solution, or you can say the complementary function of f of d y is equal to 0. So one more thing you remember, if q of x is 0, then the complementary function itself is the general solution. That means in the above definition, while talking about the solution, we said that the complete solution of this one is given by y is equal to Cf plus Pi. Is it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
These two part, that means if you have a linear differential equation with constant coefficient, the solution will contain two parts, complementary function plus particular integral. Now again here a condition rises, if your q of x is 0, that means if you are given a homogeneous linear differential equation with constant coefficient, then the solution will be y is equal to only yc, and this will be your most general solution. You won't be able to find particular integral there. Okay, so this will be the solution. This will be the solution of f of d y is equal to 0. Okay, so if you are given f of dy is equal to 0, that is q of x is 0, then the complementary function itself is your general solution. Okay, now when you will have the second part yp, when q of x is not equal to 0, that means when you are given a non-homogeneous differential equation, then the solution will contain both the parts, complementary function as well as particular integral. Now to find the complementary function for this one, you will first take q of x is equal to 0, solve it, you will get complementary function, and then assume then you will calculate particular integral by taking q of x not equal to 0. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This part you know
Yes, ma'am.
anyhow. Q of x is equal to 0. There also you have to do this whole procedure what you are going to learn now. When you q of x is not 0, you will have two parts of the solution, complementary function, particular integral. We'll see how we'll find particular integral later. But to find the complementary function even for non-homogeneous one, first you will write a homogeneous equation itself and find the complementary function. And if already a homogeneous is given, you will get only complementary function, no particular integral. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in working rule, you will be, I mean, you will be given f of dy is equal to 0. F of dy is equal to 0 will be given. What is f of d? F of d is nothing but a d power n plus p1 d power n minus 1 and so on up to plus pny. I mean pn. This is f of d. Is it or not? Y is equal to
Yes,
0.
ma'am.
Now you have to write the algebraic equation, or you can call it as auxiliary equation, by taking f of m is equal to 0. Okay, that means what I am doing? I am replacing d with letter m. Fm, remember that I have not written f of m into y is equal to 0. Can you find the difference? This will be given to you. This is the thing given, f of d y is equal to 0, and I am writing my algebraic equation as fm is equal to 0. That means only in f of d I need to substitute m, leaving y. Got it? So what this will lead me? I will have m to the power n plus p1 m to the power n minus 1, okay, plus and so on up to plus pn equal to 0. This is what I am going to have, because I have written only fm, not y. Okay, where p1, p2, pn, they are all what? They are all real constants. Understood what you have to do in the first step?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
there
ma'am.
p1, I'm not writing the whole theory here, I'll share the notes related to this one. So here p1, p2, pn are all real constant, and this is called as, this equation is called as auxiliary equation of this equation, auxiliary equation of 1. My board is not working today. Okay, auxiliary equation of 1. where AE in short form we write it as A dot E. It is nothing but auxiliary equation. Understood all of you? So this is what you have to do in the first step. You rewrite the given question in terms of d. Sometimes they may write in terms of dy by dx, d square y by dx square and all. You write it in terms of d. That means in this form you should able to represent the question. Then you write down the heading. The auxiliary equation of 1 is this one. Fm is equal to 0. Now look at this equation. Fm is equal to 0. What kind of equation is this one? It is a
Polynomial.
yeah, it is a polynomial equation in m
N.
of degree n. So when you have a polynomial equation of degree n, you will have certain roots. How many roots will be there?
N.
N roots.
N roots will be there, is it or not? So we'll assume, so n roots are there. So we have m1, m1, m2 and so on up to mn roots are there. Now the cases arises here. Out of these m roots, all the roots can be non-repeated ones. All roots are distinct, real and distinct. Understood what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, case 1, when all of my roots are real and distinct. Okay, in that case, the solution is given by, suppose all these roots are real and distinct, then the solution, I'll mention here the reason. If all roots, okay, just give me 2 more minutes time, I'll fix this one. I'm not able to write on this board, I'll change it.